Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm hoping you're all tuning into this because quite a bit has happened today. I think I'll go with that background. Is that the right one? It is live chat. I'll wait until everyone kicks in. What I'm going to hope to do is bring this up on the screen. Let's have a quick look. Put this out there. Before we go on to the screen, I might even do a few other bits and pieces. English moderator. There you go. There you go. And I know what these people are absolutely terrified of. Let's see what I can do here. Hit that one. Let me have a quick look. We're going to push this back out on here. Paste. Right, let me go back and see if I can bring this up. My apologies to everyone for being late. There is a few reasons for it. Apart from the fact I can't get the email working on this machine, something's happened, and it just seems funny that all this has started. And actually, from the 15th of June, when we actually issued proceedings, the email stopped. I can't get it to work. It's a terrible situation on this machine. Lucky enough, I've got two other machines. It does work. But I'm sure that they will smack me in some ways. Good evening. Oh, grasshopper, one of my favourites. Yeah. There's two birds I like the rear of. And both of them you was actually holding. Listen. It's only me being a bit cheeky. You know the code, didn't you? Let's have a look. Middlesex man, good evening all. John Aspinall, evening folks. Everyone out there listening. You thought I was going to say something else then, didn't you? Lukey. Oh, right. Before I get stuck in to this, right, I'm going to tell you a few things, right? In fact, I won't tell you a few things. I'm going to show you a few. Listen, right? King Charles III ain't my king, right? And nor is the consort queen. We have a people, and that people are part of my heritage. I come from the north originally, the family does, but I'm a Londoner, and I'm being forced out of London by what they've done. In effect, everywhere I go, all I hear are foreign voices. The English are spat at for being English. I'm going to show you who my king and queen is. That's my king and queen. Right? These are my people. This is one of our princesses with a queen. An English rose. And Pearly kings and queens were not just from the East End. This is part of our culture. What have you done to us? Peckham. Go to Peckham now and have a look at Peckham. He looks like me. He ain't got a lot of teeth. All these pearlies are on his jacket. There you go. The proudest of people. The Pearly Queen of Highgate. What did they do to us? It destroyed us as a people. This is part of what's going to be shown in that court case. Our people being destroyed. What did we do to them? When did we give consent to be replaced? All across London, not just the East End. Now there's a proper princess. She's got some nice pearlies and all. Are you all seeing these, by the way? And again, here's one for you. Vote for the English Constitution Party. Save our country. And our country is England. And again, I just want to make sure everyone understands what this is. The Reeds of Runnymede. And there's so much I could show you that goes through all that. But let me just tell you something now, right? What you've done to my people, what they're so-called representing us. I haven't seen a single person representing us. And I'm very grateful to Jimmy bringing these over to me today, right? And I forgot to sign the footstool for it. I've got a load more of them over there. So with you, did you all see them pictures and understand exactly what it is that I've just shown you? Do you all understand what that is? Now, to a lot of the people watching this, they don't understand London. They won't know London. They won't understand the whole scene of the Pearly Kings and Queens, right? It's not just Cockneys. Cockneys come from the East End, right? I'm a South Londoner. It don't matter where you are in London. You can be a Pearly King or Queen. And you were of and for the people. They were set up as charities to help the community. You was of the community, right? I just want to make sure I say this before I continue, right? I will never surrender. I will never surrender my oath or my country or my constitution. My constitution is a solemn oath from me. My oath was to the Constitution of England and the country of England, my nation. We have now got an answer back from Sarah Pochin, or Pochin MP. I can't go into it in detail because it is a statement, and therefore I can't read out her statement on this program, right? Or on this. But I can tell you she is endeavouring, in part, to use the Constitution against me. And in doing so, she has lit the fuse to the trial, which I am very grateful for. But she has done it unwittingly with some non-intelligent, unconstitutional advice from whoever her legal advisors are. You have just challenged a litigant in person on the Constitution. and in particular, freedom of election and purity of election. You have opened up the keys to this case. So Sarah Pochin, MP, it may have been done intentionally. I did sit there with some amusement, I've got to tell you. And then I thought to myself, is this her being clever, or is this them being thick, right? I've got to be honest with you. I've come to the conclusion, because she now opens herself up to massive costs. I think it's them being thick, unless, of course, they're just going to leave it at that and say we're not going to bother, right? But what she actually relies on is that she wasn't served when she was. And what the court will understand, and by the way, there's something else that I could go into detail with, which I think is highly amusing, right? And it is crucially important that people understand this. When you create official service, right, you don't have to do it by registered post. But when you do, right, there's two things that you will, and again, this is really important, so I won't show what this one is. Let me make sure it's going to the right. So this one is a receipt. It's dated, it's timed of when it was sent, and it is guaranteed next day delivery by the Royal Mail, right? To the Department of Public Prosecutions, who must be served, right? Without going into too much detail, inside this flap, okay, is the address, right? That was given to me by a senior civil servant in the petition court to serve the Director of Public Prosecutions, right, which I've done. They say that service was not affected, right? Well, what I've done, and I'm hoping to show you on the screen, if possible, right, is I have, and again, I can't really track that one again. Let's see if I can track it again. What I don't want to do is put out any information that causes a problem, right? But not that it would cause a problem. So it was sent, right? Now, what it says is your item was delivered on the 30th of the 5th, 2025. So that's 10 days after the date it should have been delivered on, which was the 19th. Unfortunately for them, they seem not be able to use the tracking information, right? Which again, I would have to go and put that information back in for me to bring it up, right? There is a source of amusement for me in this. I won't tell you what it is. I'll show you on the screen when it comes up, right? But let me just do this, right? And I'll show you. So it's important that you keep the receipts, because you have to show the receipts to the judge, right? You also print out delivery proof, right, which I'm about to do. And it is unfortunate for them that service was affected, as I'm about to show you, right? And I am going to show you some more amusing things in a couple of seconds. Let me see if I can bring this up on the screen a bit further. I'm not sure if that's going to work. It's not going to work. So somehow I need to bring this up. Why ain't that roller working? Roller stopped working. I don't know how to get my roller to work again, right? But there, I'm going to show you this, right? So here it goes on the screen, just so you can see. Now, again, I'm going to make sure I emphasize this. it says delivered on the 30th of the 5th, 2025. That's not my problem. That's the first thing they've looked at and said he ain't served it in time, right? That's not relevant. What's relevant is when I did it, right? Which was on the 16th of May. They was sent and I got receipts for it, right? Next day delivery. So because Saturday is not a working day and Sunday is not a working day, right? The next day working delivery is the Monday. What you'll see by this, right? And I can't even see it properly on my screen, but I'm going to try and highlight it. Yeah, there it is, right, on your screen. It says delivered at 12:36 Monday, the 19th of May, 2025. Can you see that on your screen? Give me a yes if you can see it on your screen, right? This is one part of it, and it was signed by Abdul Latif, right? So Abdul has signed for it and received it, and that's what he's done. Now, so this is the Department of Public Prosecutions, which they say I never served at all, right? And again, there is actually a picture that I put out. Someone in our group will find it and send it to me, right? And it was of the 5 letters that I sent out, and it was written down. I need that picture because I need to show it, because that picture shows that they was all printed out, ready to go. I went to the post office, put them all in. There's the receipts. And by the way, every one of these now, there's a printout for receipt, right? So what Sarah Pochin is saying is that you're not allowed to serve a member of Parliament, right, at Parliament. Well, there's 2 elements to that. They were very loose in where she was. So it says place of business. Well, your place of business is the Houses of Parliament, right? If you're going to bring in rules saying this is unconstitutional, by the way, there's something else I can show you that knocks that out of bed completely. The point is she's doing everything to get this thrown out, right? So she is now joined in with the chorus. I've now got 4 respondents, right? So one of them happens to be the partner in roughly the second big, I think it's the second biggest legal firm in the world. Against little old me. But the positive of this is Sarah Pochin they think they're being clever. They may not be. I don't know what they're doing. But bringing in constitutional arguments has opened this up clear as clear, like giving me an absolute pathway with the Constitution, because they have presented the Constitution as their defence, right? Do you all sort of get what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure everyone understands what is actually going on here, right? Now, the greatest point I'm going to make as well is I have got a complete history of all the emails and read receipts. So on the 15th of June, the day the court issued it, I sent the whole lot, even though it didn't have a seal, right, by email. Well, the judge has already acknowledged we can send stuff by email without a seal. We all know what's going on, right? And then I sent the pictures of the seal and the sealed thing, and I sent the whole thing to a number of individuals at the addresses that have been notified online of where you should send it. And one of them was Sarah Pochin's email address at Parliament, right? So she cannot deny it, right? Let me have a look at what someone's just sent me and see if it comes up. Now, there was actually a picture of 5 big, large brown envelopes, right? If I can find it on here, I don't know whether I sent it, what group I sent it to, but let me see if I can go back and see if I can find it on here. I sent it on my, let's see if I can find it. I'll have to go all the way back to, oh, what's that one? That's not that one, right? If I can find it, I'll send it to myself again. Oh, what is that? It was a nice big dinner, I'll just see on there. Let's have a look and see where I'm going. And by the way, everyone, I see my dad today. I popped around and see my dad, and he was all right. He had to listen to me ranting about this mob, but he was 26th of March. That's not it. I sent it somewhere. Let me try and see if I can find it. You're going to have to listen. As part of this show now, you're going to probably have to put up with me searching for stuff and then telling you what I am and I'm not doing. Oh dear. I'll just see that. Shocking. One of my old girlfriend's photos just popped up. Yes, she was decent. Well, actually, meaning she was dressed. She was dressed. Let me have a look at this. No, not that. There was something else. Who's just put that on? DD, what's your thoughts on the benefit debate next week? Will it get thrown out? I've written to the local MPs. No, it won't get thrown out. What I think they're doing is putting everything in place to make you so fucking skint and you've got no fucking money. The only thing you can do is fight, right? And anyone who thinks this ain't a game, I'm telling you now, this is not a game. This is, and again, there's certain people who started talking about a civil war, and then I started seeing it promoted. And there's a certain person. There is a certain person. I haven't been back on his show since, right? But he is working with a group of people that I believe are a setup for us. Why is my thing not working? My little tractor thing, you know, like that tracking wheel. Can anyone tell me why my tracking wheel don't work? Anyone got a clue why my tracking wheel ain't working? It's driving me mad. Number lock, caps lock, scrolls lock. Is there a reason why it's not working? Caps lock, scrolls lock. Tell me why it ain't working. Let me have a look and see if I can see. Let's have a look at this. We're looking at these pictures a second. All photos. There is a particular group of photos that I'm looking for. Not that one, not that one, not that one. Let's go back and have a look and see if I can find it. If I find it, I'll send it to myself, right? Cool. I'll just see some gorgeous bird. Let me have it. And she was holding a bird of prey. Let's have a look. Some of these elements. Let me see if I can find it. I've sent this to people and I don't know where it's gone. So where can I find it? Let me have a look, see if I can find it. No, it's not in there. Library, camera, select. I don't know what to do there. Months. Oh. So what month would it be? Would it have been in May? Or would it have been in June? No, it would have been in June. Right, so in May, April, May, or was it June? March, 5th of May, 5th of May, June the 1st. Let's have a look at this. What is that one? I don't know. This is going to be driving you lot mad, isn't it? Why can't I find the fucking thing? I've seen this. I've got a picture of it, right? But I can't work out where I put the picture. Let's go back and have a look on here. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Was it on there? Let's see if I sent it to them. Right. I think I might send it to them. I've seen it in our group. Let's have a look. What date is that? 13th of June. So it would have been after that. All right. It would have been after that. Where's that? What day is that? See, I shouldn't be doing this online. Someone's got to remind me to get this photo because it's really important. Because why would you have a photo and then not send them? Right? It's obvious, isn't it? So it was all sent. Well done, you. Someone must have this photo. It's a photo of 5 brown envelopes listed, like it's one after the other, and it was all together, and then I listed out who it was and what it was. But where would it come from? Where was it? Oh, fuck me. Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can carry on with this. What date would I go to? That was. What date is that? It's not even telling me what these dates are. That was 2024. That ain't it, is it? Let's have a look and see if I can find it. What date is that? This is highly distressing. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know why I absolutely need it, but I'm just letting you know. What's annoying is some of these things are important, and then I just lose track of it, and I'm thinking, well, where is it? Let's see if I can go and find it in one of these. Petition, responses, petition. Let's see if I can find any of this in there. I don't know what that is. Nope. It wouldn't have been in responses. Let's have a look and see if it was in there. Let's see if it's one of these. It was literally an image of the 5 envelopes. I took an image of it, and I know I sent it. I either sent it to the groups, right, or I've took just an image on my phone and I can't find it on my thing. But I've seen it the other day, and it's disappeared. Like I say, is she so dumb using constitutional law to throw out the case of constitutional rights? Yeah, but what they're doing is pitching. There's something about this which I don't want to talk about on the show. That they don't realise what they've done, right? And as soon as I saw it, I just started laughing, right? I went, you don't realise what you've just done, right? Or they know what they've done, and they want to annihilate the 3 that are going against me. I don't know what the situation is, but I do know that they watched the show. So I've got to say that anyway. Right, let me be 30. Let me have one of these. Right, I can't sit there trying to find this file. But what did you think of my Pearly Kings and Queens? What's that, Graham? Give a follow on X, just it, right? New Age Templar. Don't worry, Graham. I'll lose more tape measure and pens in a day and can never find them too. Yeah, let me tell you something. Yeah, but this is a bit more. When I say a bit more important, anything can be important, but it's just bloody annoying. Anyway, forget that. Don't forget, hit the like button. Sharing is caring. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We've now got 86. Well done. I'll tell you what, without even being asked, you've hit the like button. I love you, right? Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. It's really important. Now, I was supposed to be on the Northern Ireland channel with Freedom Dad tonight. And he phoned me up and said, I've got to cancel. This has gone on. And I said, yeah, that's not a problem. I said, but it is short notice because I've told everyone I was going out tonight, right? Again, I'm not being funny. I'm not really interested in YouTube. But I am interested in my audience on Rumble. But what I did try and say to him is, I'm trying to give you a solution. And it's non-violent. And someone's got to listen. And if you've got a voice and you want people to understand what I'm saying to them, and a lot of people in Northern Ireland are watching you, they've got to understand what I'm saying, and I'm trying to show you how not to get people arrested. In other words, it is illegal to arrest them if they do exactly what I tell them. It's actually unconstitutional to arrest them, right? And people are not getting it. And it has to be done in a specific way, which it has been done. And again, Jimmy from Northern Ireland is in possession of what I've done, right? There's a few other things, but don't forget I'm really busy at the moment. I don't mean that. I'm not sitting there grafting with sweat coming down my face or whatever, but I am constantly reading and then trying to work out how I put this stuff, and then I've got to present it in a way that the judges just can flow with it, right? And I have to be more professional in the way that I present this, because I'm talking about a subject that they technically, even though they are learned, know nothing about, right? And especially when I start talking about quo warranto writs and the subversion of our freedom of elections, which is in effect what they're doing, right? And the fact that this election call, in effect, all right, if I don't know what they're calling it, but because it's an election call, right, this is really important. It's technically the Court of Common Pleas. And it is the Court of Common Plea that should hear this case, right? It was never abolished. It was merged with the King's Bench. And technically, that's what this is. And therefore, it is the history and constitution of freedom of election and purity of election and the common law that controls statute, right? It must be said. And one way or the other, just because I don't want to sound like I'm having a pop at the judges. If they show their incompetence and it has to go to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court are arguing against us, then I don't know. All I can say is I've done everything I possibly can. Let's have a quick look. It seems stable now, said the horse. Let me have a. If you wish to send Danny Dragon a personal donation, thank you very much. DD Lupin made me wonder if he had a person keeping his stuff to make him look mad. Like now, I had this kind of thing about here as well, and they're not that good. I don't know what he means. This election rigging must be made to stop. Enough is enough of this. Yeah, no, I agree. And what they're trying to say is, a candidate can't. I've got to emphasise this to everyone, right? And this is crucially important to this case. It is no longer about just a person returned to Parliament now, right? I didn't bring it in, they brought it in, a £500 deposit with a metric of 5% of the turnout. If you then steal my votes, you are not only stealing the membership money, you're stealing their votes as well, and the electors' votes, and you're creating an issue with the assenters, right? And it is crucially important that any infringement of that, right, is just as much an infringement of returning an MP to freedom of elections and purity of elections as it is, right, to me, right? Because of that. I didn't add that. They added it. And that's the bit, it's one of the parts that they're completely missing, right? So I'm sitting there saying, you created the fraud. So technically, you've now brought in fraud, you've brought in theft, you've brought in contempt of sovereign, you've brought in contempt of statute. You're the ones that are in contempt, right? And this is crucially important, right? They are in contempt, not me, right? And now they've brought it in, and they've brought the subject in. Trust me, what? I have opened up a can of fucking worms that is my forte, right? So to some extent, I am very grateful. She may have done it deliberately. Yeah, go on. We want you to attack constitutionally. That don't taste very nice. Anyway, Jardine, Sam, give them a lesson in English law. That's exactly what I intend to do. Seems stable now. What's that? For some reason, this ain't streaming. DD, have a look at your WhatsApp. Right, let me have a look at my WhatsApp. I'm looking in my WhatsApp. Go on. What can I see in my WhatsApp? For some reason, why the fuck is this not working? My thing ain't working. Oh God, it's all going pear-shaped. Right, let me get off of that. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's going on with. Right. I apologise. For some reason, it ain't scrolling. Does anyone know how to fix your scroll? What's the matter with the scroller? Have I done something wrong with this? I don't know. Right, so someone's just said, check your WhatsApp, and there's nothing on my WhatsApp. Right? There's nothing on my WhatsApp. Unless it's me. Let me have a look. Who fucking said it? I'm English, not British. Now I know who the fuck you are, don't I? Right? Thank you. Let me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you know what I absolutely adore? You have just found exactly. Where did you find it, you slippery little fucker? Right? Let me have a look. I'm going to show you exactly what this is and talk about before I do anything else. Right? Just so you all know why this was so important. Right? Not important because I can prove it anyway, but now there's even further in existence before I even took them to the post office. Right? And there it is. Where did I take that photograph? I'm asking you the question. Where did I take that photograph? At the petitions office in the Royal Courts of Justice with the most senior civil servant sitting at my side when I took the petition, including a photo of the cheque for £5,000, the order that is stamped on it, Sarah Joanne Podgin, House of Commons, London, SAS 1A0AA, Stephen Young, Mark Roberts, Emma Guilfoot, CEO. And by the way, I've got a whole email chain that they said to me, the Royal Mail, this is the person that you put on the petition, right? So they're now arguing that they don't want her name on the petition when it was them that told me to put it in there in the first place, right? So, Director of Public Prosecution, Rose Court, 2 Southwark Bridge, London, right? Can you all see that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There is the order for the deposit and the petition. There's the £5,000. Just to make sure you're all aware, because I'm going to bring this up on the screen. Listen, Mr. Wonderful, who just sent me that. I'm going to show you all the bits here, hopefully, and you will see it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? What you're now seeing is each one of them laid out. I've got to make sure I saved that, right? Nathan, you're a start, right? 1 receipt, 2 receipt, 3 receipt, 4 receipt, 5 receipt, right? All sent, right? 6 receipt, parcel false, special delivery to the United States of America, £46.59, right? I've also got a receipt for that, received by the Department of State, Marco Rubio's personal office, which is why 2 people from the United States Embassy was in there and made themselves aware to the court that they was in the court, right? Right. So when I go through all of this, I also show the court the receipts. But most importantly, there's something else I can show you, right? I just want to make sure you're all aware of this. So what you're seeing on your screen is that. I need to save that. That's exactly what I'm looking for. You are spot on, guys. And by the way, I could say some more things, but the geezer who's going out, who does all the generator stuff, he is an expert in fiberglassing, and he's built his own race cars. And if I showed you the race car, which I don't think I'm allowed to do because it's his own pride and joy, you want to see it? I was like, wow, that's a tool. He built and designed the race car from scratch, including the engine, the suspension, everything, right? He did the whole lot, right? That's why I'm saying about working class people are very clever, right? And he's phoned Tim up and said, listen, I also do spraying and fiberglassing, and then I will stay out there and help you, right? That's how fantastic this movement is, right? So I'm just making sure, they're worried the burden of proof is less at civil high court than in criminal. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Gooner mum, you could bang on the money, right? Which is why they're trying to get our expert witness statement kicked out, right? Because it says it's a 1 million to 1, and it says this is what happened, right? And again, he's going to come along and give evidence. They're trying to kick it out. Taffy Pat, they must have been pulped. There you go, right? So there's all the information. You're all seeing that. So I'm English, not British. Well done for finding that and giving me that. You've just stopped me stressing big time. And what I'm going to do now is save that in my evidence folder. So it's on there. And then I'm going to send it on to the other one. There's proof of delivery. Right, so I'm going to put that in there. Save. Right. So what all I'm doing is saying, listen, it was all sent, it was all done, service as it should be, right? But what you're trying to do is get out of this trial, right? Because now there's 4 of you up here, right? There's 3 real respondents and the Department of Public Prosecution, and I don't care that the Royal Mail have made mistakes. It's not my issue. They've already been fined £100 million by Ofcom, right? So we just got to keep going. And like I say, I'm not going to surrender, but I'm not kidding you. There's a fuckload of reading to be done and organising this in such a way that everything is understood by the 2 judges, right? And then I've got to orally, so I've got to understand this case inside out to be able to explain it. When they start asking me questions like you do, right? I've got to start answering their questions and then tell them where that information is. Right, so it is a big thing. What else do I need to do? But again, I do want to show you this. Right, I did put it up on the screen. Right, not my king, but these 2 are. Right, if you want to know who the true king and queen of England are. It's the pearly kings of London and the pearly queens of London and the princesses of London, the English roses throughout this nation. It is us saying we are. If that is our way of saying we are sovereign, right? And again, a lot of this is charity related and helping the poor in London and all over the country. So all I'm saying to you, if you missed the first part of the show and want me to go through that, I'm going to say, listen, this is how we may not do it the way that you want to see. We may not express it the way that you express it, but we understand the term sovereignty, right? And we've expressed that with the pearly queens and kings and our own princesses. And you have actually destroyed us. And you've destroyed London. So can you all see that? Do you understand what that is? Does anyone want me to go through them images again and bring them up on the screen so you entirely understand what I'm talking about? Give me a yes in the chat and I will show you. And I'm hoping there's an American audience out there that are watching this and understand what a pearly king and queen really is, right? It is a way of the working class telling everyone without committing treason that we are sovereign, right? That's exactly what it means. The spirit is sovereign. Does anyone want me to go through that and show it again? Luke 1956. How's your new buffet? Have you installed your buffet yet? Oh, don't let that fall off of there. So again, I'm going to go through these and show you. Right. The pearly kings and queens with the princesses, the kings, right? I've got to be honest with you, I don't know how old this old girl is now, but she's got some pearlies in that old gob, I know, isn't she? And then you've got the pearly princess of St. Pancras, right? Unfortunately, they've got the Union Jack on there, but we'll forgive them for that. There were some things they was ignorant of, right? And there he is. That's the winner I picked in 19 whenever. And it was a donkey and all, right? But there you go. Look at this one. That's a stunner, isn't it? Right? We got a little baby there as well. Right? And there's the princess and the queen. And there we are, people, with our donkey and our cart, which is our carriage. Ooh, has everyone seen these? Are you enjoying these as much as I am? I just think these are fantastic, right? What have you done to London? What have they done to London, right? Pearly Queen of Highgate, the kings and queens, and there we are, right? That's the real face of London. And there's the Pearly Queen and Pearly King carriage again. The old black taxi covered in pearls. And the police didn't stop it and say you can't do that, right? And again, Pearly King of Peckham. There he is. Right? Who could that be? The old boy. Look at that. That's proper. Pearly King and Queen of Lambeth. And there they are, going through the streets of London. And that is what they wanted to destroy, our sovereignty. What we represent. Look at that little baby princess. And look at the queen or princess. Knees up, Mother's Brown. Knees up, Mother's Brown. There you go. Right. And I'll guarantee you at the end of that night, they was doing the okie dokie. Right. And there it is yet again. Right. The main image of this show. What is sovereignty? How do you claim your sovereignty? Well, they certainly claim their sovereignty. They certainly said in no uncertain terms, we are who we are, right? And London has been destroyed. You all know I'm leaving London. And to be, in some ways, that is not because I don't want to go to Devon. I absolutely do want to go to Devon. I want to be able to talk to people about England without being spat on. I want to be able to talk to people in English. And again, these people just don't understand what they've done to us because we did not give consent to what they have done to us. And part of that is freedom of elections. Part of that is purity of elections. And the only person standing up for you in that court, in that high court, is us, me, as your mouthpiece, right? So again, don't think, listen, I'm not earning a dollar out of this particular event, right? But part of what we've got to do, and I've still got to go through some other pieces, which I will be doing, I just want to make sure that everyone's got this message, right? We need to raise as much money as possible and start to show that even without the mainstream media, or with the mainstream media and alternative media blocking our access to communication, just like the Royal Mail Group Limited did and Emma Guilford. Again, we're very nearly at the moment at £3,000, right? None of this, you've already seen, I've stuck in £5,000. I've stuck in another 1,600 quid on top of that, right? Which was my own money. I've got to at least try and get that back, right? Listen, they bankrupt me. What more do you want, right? I'll just say, dear AB, another dollar, another day, another dollar, right? But these people are trying to crucify us, right? So all I'm going to do is show this on the screen. And the only people standing up for you, and there it is in Frodsham, right, which is just down the road. So again, it is now raised £2,928. They're trying to hit me, technically, with over £1 million worth of costs. So it comes to just under $1 million if you worked out the 500,000 cost of a trial and all what they're doing. So again, all I'm saying to you is, I don't want to get, I at least need to get, I mean, we've put in there £26,000 as a goal, right? The actual goal is just under $1 million because they need to see the people behind it. So what are they trying to do? They don't want the petition advertised. By law, it has to be, right? They don't want it advertised. So all I'm saying is everyone needs to kick in and share this and say what it's, we need to say what it's about. And it's about the purity and freedom of elections, an undoubted right of our ancestors, and it is our claim of right, and it is literally about us claiming that right, an undoubted right, which is our inheritance, right? And when you consider, so what I am doing, it's just like, it's not me in that court. It's you claiming it for your grandchildren and your great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren. It's you as individuals claiming those rights. All I am is your mouthpiece, nothing more. And that's why this is so important. But these people are robbing us. It wasn't me that included a £500 deposit. And then, so you've now got two parts of a return. The return of an MP, which is just as valid as a 5% return to get your deposit back. If they are seen to be stealing your one single vote, they steal one of them. It is an offence. It is fraud and it is theft. And therefore, they have committed an offence in common law against you. That's what these people have done. And that is what I'm telling them. That water tastes disgusting. Let me have a quick look. What are these tablets I've got here? Right here, right, these are my natural, just saying to you, natural antidepressants, right? I'll come back to that in a couple of minutes. Let's see if we can get over 3,000 on one show. Oh my God. Yes! Oh, I love it. There it is, right? But you'll notice that there's certain people in the background that don't like us doing this, right? And all I'm doing is telling you we're going to keep going whether they like it or not. Let me just make sure I tell you what I'm doing here because you want to know what these are, right? These, so the essential 90s in the fridge, right? So these things are what's basically stop depression, right? And some people have noticed, not that I can be happy at the moment, but they've noticed that my mood has changed. Well, one of the reasons is because of this natural thing that goes through your body and your body gets what it needs. And then there's another one here. I've got to show you this, and then we'll come back to this, shall we? Let's have a look. See if it goes up any further. Right. Let me take that off a sec because I've got to show you this. Right. So this other one is called that. Right. It's completely natural. What it does, it allows your body to create the testosterone without putting testosterone in your body. If you put testosterone in your body, you sterilise your bollocks, basically, right? You actually sterilise yourself, which is why you should not take testosterone, right? But Zeratest is giving your body everything it needs to make testosterone, right? And that, with the essential 90, makes you very virile. And what's the other one? Is it libido? Libido? What's it called when you pull out of bed in the morning? Right? And all I'm saying to you is our wonderful, 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 wonderful Jonathan, right, at Youngivity UK. Do you want me to bring that up? This isn't, this is just me showing you. I do actually do what I say on the tin. It's not as if I don't do it. I actually do it, right? And there's some people say to me, only some, right? They go to me, oh, you look really young. I'm like, shut up. Well, you're just trying to get in my pants, aren't you? Especially if it's a geezer. So behave yourself, right? But they go, no, honestly, your complexion and you've lost all the weight. You look completely different. If I dyed my hair, right, I don't know how old I'd be. And then people say to me, how old are you, Graham? I go, 28. And then some people say to me, especially Tim in Portugal, he goes to me, you permanently in heat or something? What is the matter with you? And I go, I just like women, Tim. I can't help it, right? And he's like... Right, so you just get there. I'm not as blunt as you, John Aspinall. I'll try and be more discreet with what I'm describing. DD, there's a new dating site for you. It's called carbon dating. Yeah? What the fuck is carbon dating? Oh, I need to show you something as well. In a different scenario, let me see if it's actually gone on there. For some reason, it's not in there. Why ain't that connected? Why hasn't that come in and it's not connected? I sent it on my other phone. You know, for some reason my phone don't seem to be connected. Someone said, what year was that? What are you talking about? 199164. 100 connections, you're not speaking English. Put me on. What year was that? What are you on about? If I'm not speaking English, what am I speaking? He might be right, though. I'll never speak anything. Finally, my blood pressure. I've got to find something else here. Where's this gone? Let me have a quick look at my own. Here's it on that. I'm sure I put it in there. It's some of the things I've put in this one is not on the other one, which I find very strange. Let's have a look at that one. I found something earlier and I wanted to show you it, and now it's not on there, but it's on my other computer. What is going on with my phones? Why are they not all linked up to each other and showing me the bits in the back? That's why I'm losing track of things, because I'm using 3 different systems and they're not synced up to each other. Real Colin Wise, I search X in Russian and Persian to find the truth. You're probably right there. Damn, I'm late. No notification. Watching from the start now. Always have time for Graham. Best English teacher going. Let me have a quick look. You can't. If Tim is watching, I don't know if he is or not. I will try. You can't be inebriated on the show, right? So if you're drunk, you can't get on. I'll send you a link just in case you are, right? I mean, what I'm saying, if you're watching and you're not drunk, right? Well, I don't know what that means. Put some. Let me have a look. Tim Nigel. Let me have a look. Let's have a quick look. Waiting room petition. Let's see if he comes on. Captain Tim wants to come on. I've just sent him the link. Right? So he'll have to put the link on. But you can't be pissed or do anything like that. All right? Only because it will. That's one of the things that Rumble don't tolerate. Real Colin Wise, I commented first on Netanyahu's ex-post with a video of Israel firing rockets that turned around and hit themselves yesterday. Oh, really? So someone's spinning their rockets. You mean like what happened with when they fired the nuclear deterrent, the British nuclear deterrent for one of submarines, and it went up in the air like a Catherine wheel and splashed in the water? Let's have a look. Well, I'm waiting for him to connect. I've sent him the link. I have put Captain Tim's link in there to him. And let's see what he says. This will put you live, not only on YouTube, but also on Twitter and also on Rumble. But remember, Rumble, you have to be careful of Rumble, right? Let me have a quick look and see what this says. I've got here. I don't know why it won't let him do that. Well, that's the link, and I'm on Rumble Studio. You should try and download it because it might be helpful. I'm going to stay live for a little bit longer, but I'll be watching to see what you're saying. I'll tweet it to you, DD. Let me have a look. It wasn't Iran. Tweet it to you, DD. BB switched out some time ago. Movie. Let me have a look and see what's going on. When you wake up, pitching a 10. I don't know what that means. Bob the Builder, UK 123. I'm on sneaky dinner break. All good. I think it's pretty well established how corrupt Netanyahu are. Well, I've just put something else out there. I'm going to say this to you because I'm going to get attacked for this, right? Just to make sure you're all aware. Jesus, I didn't realise we were on the English Judgment Society page. Shut up, you tosser. It's not. There's certain things that Rumble won't tolerate, right? And one of them is there's certain things it won't tolerate, right? Any form of free speech is fine. Some explicit it don't like. But one thing it don't like is people getting on there drunk. And I don't even think they like you smoking on there. Not for any particular reason, but come on, Popeye, the singer man. Get your spinach down here and accept the link. Papa sailor man. We're going to go out there with a parrot, right, and give it to you. He's got a parrot on the boat, right? But all of its feathers have come out. What? That was funny and true. Right, let's have a look. Made me giggle. Overconfidence, hung by their own whatever. Right, let me have a quick look. I'm waiting for him to come in. So I'm going to show you something else while I'm watching, right? Because there's something I'll put out earlier on today. What's this coming up on here? Let me have a look and see if there's anyone else putting up any. Good morning, DD. Best of luck today, cool, Scotty. Evening, DD. Scotty's come in there. Well done. Don't forget to keep sharing this. There's a lot of things that I have to think about what's going on in there. Now, I sent out a message to someone earlier on. I'm going to see if I can find it because it is important, right? Not that one. Not that one. There is something that I put out. And again, you can see another one. Paul Weston put this out. We've actually brought this up as part of our manifesto, in the rights of Indigenous people. And then I'll put something out there. But it doesn't seem... There's some really big things coming out there. Let me see if I can find this. Because I put something out there to Loza. Anyone see the Loza one that I did? Let's see if I did put this out. He made a statement to say that you don't see Jews doing certain things, right? And what I did was corrected him. Lots of most terrible feisted. Reclaim the media. Here it is, right? So I'm hoping, right? I'm not sure, but let me just quickly look and see. Yeah, it's on there, right? Now, some people won't like what I'm about to tell you, but this is only a small part of the history of it, and I'm telling you the truth, right? Can anyone remember the last time a Jew hijacked planes and flew them into skyscrapers? Blew up buses in London. Well, actually, there are people who say that they did it themselves. Blew up buses in London and markets in Jerusalem, shot up a concert crowd while screaming prayers, ran people over in the name of God, slit a teacher's throat for drawing a cartoon, threw acid on a girl for going to school, massacred families in their sleep, stabbed shoppers, I do know, massacred families in their sleep, stabbed shoppers in supermarkets, or yelled, Hashman is great, while detonating a suicide vest. Yeah, asking for a friend. Okay. Well, this is my answer to you, right? And if anyone wants to repeat this, they can. It looks like it has been completely subdued, right? So again, I'm going to send this out to everyone. If you want to kick this out there, kick it out there, right? And this is what I said in reply to what he's just said. Would you like a list of Zionist Jews committing terrorist crimes, like throwing hand grenades in their own synagogues? And I believe that was Ethiopia. Sending out assassination squads to kill the British non-Zionist Foreign Secretary. There was an all-points bulletin put out, I think it was in 1944, might have been 1945, 46, somewhere around like that area. But we had an all-ports alert looking for these Jewish assassins. Killing British troops in Palestine. They didn't just kill them, they booby-trapped their bodies to kill others to come to rescue them. Assassination of Jerusalem's non-Zionist rabbis. In the early morning of June 30th, 1924, Jacob Israel de Haan, a Dutch Jewish writer and vocal anti-Zionist, was assassinated in Jerusalem by members of the Haganah. a Zionist paramilitary organization. Dichan was shot after leaving the Share of Zebak Hospital Synagogue. The assassination was carried out to prevent his planned anti-Zionist activities in London. The main terrorist groups were Irgun, Zavi Legumi, National Military Organization, ultimately led by the future Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin, and an even more militant organization, Lahami Haruf Israel, Fighters for the Freedoms of Israel, LHI. The British called LHI the Stern Gang after its leader, Abraham Stern, who was killed in a clash with the Palestinian police in 1942. In November 1944, LHI assassinated the British Minister for the Middle East, Lord Moyne. They tried to kill another British Minister of State. Learn history, Loza Fox, Tommy Robinson New Era. I am an Englishman, a constitutionalist, not a protector of Zionist terrorists. I am also not a jihadist or a Jesuit. And then I copied in as a comment, Charlotte Emma UK. And the reason I did that, but you can see that reply is being completely suppressed by Twitter, and particularly, I would suggest, Twitter London, right? Because that is an honest appraisal of what he's just said, and he's been given the answer back, right? And I want to make this clear to everyone who's watching. I want everyone to understand what I am saying, right? I am in particular talking about the Jewish mafia. I'm talking about organised crime and organised financial criminals, right? I am talking about terrorists that are Jewish, right? I am not suggesting that all Jews are the Jewish mafia, in the same way as not all Russians are the Russian mafia, that not all Americans are the American mafia, that not all Italians are the Italian mafia, not all Sicilians are the Sicilian mafia. You better understand something, right? These people have an overarching thing that goes above them, right? It's called dark personality. They're up to 10% of the population. They've got no conscience whatsoever. And they come in all colours, all creeds, all religions. Dark personality, what does it include? Psychopath, narcissist. Anyone met one? I have. Not nice, right? Narcissist. Machiavellian. Here's the kicker. Sadist. They all have the same attributes, right? Exactly the same. There's 20 attributes for all of them people, and they all come within that range, right? The key factor is they don't have a conscience, right? They are the epitome of a reptilian brain, right? They can be highly intelligent. They hunt. They kill. They devour. They shit. That's it. And they've got absolutely no conscience whatsoever. A crocodile would eat a baby and think nothing of it. It's just food, right? Whereas even a dog would look at a baby crying, right? And potentially lick away its tears, right? Cat would go, dot, dot, with its paw. A reptile, a snake, a lizard, a crocodile, a reptilian brain has no conscience. It just sees food. It satisfies itself and itself only, including eating its own young or its own species young if it needs to. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Right? Right, let me have a look. Did everyone get that part? I'm called the Nasty Norman to my kids. I called the Nasty Normans to my kids. Okay. I don't know what that meant. Tailed dragon, no heart or soul either. No. They do have a heart in some ways, but they're cold-blooded in the way they hunt. And they can stay there. I mean, there's certain species of reptile that can be buried under the mud, and 30 years later they'll pop out. Right? These people can just sit there waiting. Let's kick some ass. No, I agree. So I don't know what the time is. It's 21:20. I know I was late coming on the show. So the big news is that Sarah Pochin, whatever her name is. Can someone tell me how to pronounce her name? MP has now made a statement and is coming forward. Instead of doing what I thought she was going to do, I thought she was going to be very clever. I don't quite understand why she's opened up the door to constitutionality in a big way, right? And the arguments I can now put in a big way are literally going to spank all their asses, right? Because they've brought my forte straight into that court. Interesting description of reptilian, bang on the money, G. I remember John Alexander exposed the UK Crown Court some 10 years ago. Let me have a look and says what that says. It goes, Jesuit-run courts operating under Noahide laws. That's why we English get no justice. We're disappeared, so to speak. That's exactly what's going on. The legendary sim racer. Interesting description. Let me have a look. Tim, if you're still watching, have you managed to download anything yet? Let me have a look. Soil and roots. Tim. Because you can only really do this show. There is another way of bringing you in, but it's more awkward. Let's have a look and see if there's anything else out there. And don't forget from Tuesday next week. So when I do go away, I may not be doing the show every night again, but I am going to be fully concentrating solely in how I piece all this together. And again, I will then be putting it together so everyone understands what it is. It's going to be quite difficult at times, but I need to make sure that I get all of this information in there and they understand what's going on. But they're doing everything in their power possible to get this struck out on CPR petition rules. Some of the laws that I'm using are very simple to understand. But I can tell you this, if you've got an undoubted right, that come from the Petitions Committee of the Convention Parliament, which the undoubted right to freedom of elections, and I'm going to be teaching them the legal history of this, right? For you to go against that is treason, right? Because you're subverting the English Constitution. That's exactly what you're doing, right? And I want everyone to remember saying that the English Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Rights state, in fact, right? What does it state? It says all and singular. The rights of the English Bill of Rights are not just for Parliament; they're for us, the people. And again, the freedom of election is a core right. Not just a core right; it goes all the way back. Even to Anglo-Saxon times. So I'm just making sure everyone's got that. But again, I'm going to have to do a lot of concentration on that. Let's see if there's anything I can actually say or do. Spank that Sarah birthday day. I wouldn't mind giving her a spanking. Right. There you go. And I mean that in the sexiest term, not in the physical, nasty term. Poaching, is that how you pronounce it? I remember John actually exposed the UK Crown. Let's have a look. Fossil films. Oh, I have run into those people. I called the nasty Normans to my kids. I don't know what that meant. I still can't find out what that meant. But anyway, there you go. New Age Templar, Sarah Putin must be bricking it. I don't know. I really don't. I am surprised in some ways. Strategically, I would have played it a different way if I was her. But she actually appears to be supporting or pushing Reform UK in a direction is we don't care how we got here, even by cheating. Well, that's not the way the law works, right? That's just not the way the law works. That's not the way the law of this country works. Putin. Someone tell me how to fucking pronounce her name properly. Come on, tell me how to pronounce her name. And again, let's see if we've gone up in any further way. It's refreshing our fundraiser. Whoa! We've gone to 3,138. I've got to share that, right? There is another element to that. Not that one. Fundraiser, right? So making sure everyone's got this on there, and then hopefully some of this money will drop back in. I'll tell you what, you can all you can all decide that you want to bail me out at some time in the future, and there'll be a semi wealthy beneficiary who thinks to himself, so I've sold my Porsche and I've sold this and I've sold that and I've got plenty of gold. I think I'll buy Daddy Dragon his very small yacht for under 50 grand, right? To reward him because he's done more than anyone else. He's actually got there and he's in the High Court, right? We'll see how it goes. Putin. Both parties were probably cheating. That was all fucking cheating. Chapter 69, she's still a magistrate. Is she still a magistrate? I don't think she is, but one of the other things I could check is if there is anyone who is receiving a pension in any way or form from the Crown. If they are forbidden to be, technically, by law currently, a member of Parliament. Cool. Dennis and Ingram, Goonamum must use a laptop, not this mini keyboard. It was bad enough on big keys. Juicy Lucy, English Constitute, Run Cornhillsby election, petition, hearing. Again, we need to make sure everyone's aware. I need as many people to turn up on the 25th of July, and well behaved in the extreme. No tutting, growling, if they call Parliament sovereign, which we all know means Politburo. All they're doing is they're declaring that they are communists, right? But on the screen is the helpful. This is literally just getting back the money I've put in already, right? So we need to get there. But already tonight it's gone back up. So I am really pleased that people are helping us because you're fantastic people. That's who you are. Don't skint yourself, though, right? Freedom of information, of communication between parties. There is so much information that I'm coming out with at the moment. There is another database I'm trying to get access to. And again, as part of what we're doing, I've got to get access to this other database, which hopefully I will. But the databases they use, I couldn't afford, right? Or we couldn't afford. And it's one of the things that's grossly unfair. Let me have a quick look. Hi, Denise. I hope you're so good. Faulkner, good evening. Let's have a look and see if there's anything else out there. Let's see if I can... did I have one of them? Zero test. Oh, where's my other zero test? Did I have another zero test here? Right, so let's look that one. Pump that one. Zero test is gone. I've got my black bin liners over there. I've got to start getting this house ready to start moving along. Zero test. I'm sure I haven't got all of these in here, but I'll put them in here. So I'm going to take my Zeratest ones as well. Right? Let's put that down there. What's that one there? The big one there. That's more of the tangerine one. Oh, what that is. We'll wait for some of these to turn up for tomorrow. Here's my ultra. Right, Emma. I ain't got a girlfriend though. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look. It is an attack on Christianity. I just want everyone to know that is exactly what they're doing, and in particular, the Protestant religion. That is who they are attacking. So everyone out there, just make sure you're getting this message out. So if you don't mind, then I can go and piss off and carry on doing my research and writing up stuff. Sheep tag, I was offered £50 refund from car company, told him no, I want at least 1,500 quid for laugh at her, feck 'em, you don't ask, you don't get. My cat used to go upstairs when she heard my boys stirring in their cots and would come down to get me, tapping me gently on the hand with her paw. Yeah, there you go. Cats are different, and so are dogs. As long as you treat them with respect, if they come from a loving family that's never hurt them, they'll understand. They'll be part of the family. Whereas a lizard, a snake, a crocodile, any form of reptile won't. Right? It's because they have no conscience, none whatsoever. Freaking hell, this site is the gutter tonight. What's that? What does that mean? Simon Lacey, only hours are up. Only oneers. I'll be donating to Charlie if I get it too. No problem. Right, that is it. I am going to say, don't forget to share, because sharing is caring, right? And you're the only people getting this message out there, because the government don't like it at all, nor do any of the populations. We're well in excess of 100 likes. If you're watching on catch up, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget, everyone, literally, good night, God bless to everyone. Yeah, good night, friends. Simon Lacey, thanks, DD and Patriots. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, crucially important. And key to this is don't forget to share, right? This is your opportunity to assist in taking your country back from corruption, right? That's what this is about. That's it. I am off. I'm going to say good night. God bless. I will see you tomorrow evening. It looks like I'm going to be live in Northern Ireland on some Sunday night, and then I'll be preparing to piss off to go to Portugal. So you will see me sweating out there. But I've got to try and concentrate and get all this done, and then get the paperwork in so it is accepted. And then I've got to try and create it in such a way that people understand exactly what has gone on in the background and what the conversations were, and also the conversations in their entirety with Royal Mail Group Limited telling me that the name of the person to put on the thing was Emma Gilthorpe. Right? They come back and said it, not me. Good night to all lovely people, and God bless. See you tomorrow. Let's have a quick look. Someone's got to be responsible for what they do. Hit the English flag for me, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll finish the show by putting the English flag on the live chat, so everyone, including the Americans, including everyone out there, hit the English flag, because this is the only platform that allows you a voice. Everyone else shuts you down. including Twitter, especially Twitter London, who are still censoring my channel or our channel. So hit the like button. Let's see the English flag being smashed out there by everyone, and go for it. Right. So again, I just want to make sure that everyone's on there. Everyone can see all that. There's not many channels now that you can do that, but it has just been done. All right. So again, I'm now going to piss off, and I will see you all. Good night. God bless, and thank you to I'm English, not British. Again, seeing names and seeing the names on the confuses me completely, but I'm seeing everything come through. That's it. Don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution. Don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution states that we are entitled to armed rebellion if the ballot is blocked and the law is blocked. There is no other option but for the people to take back the country. That's it. Tiddly poo, au revoir. I am now off, as it were. See you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, full English show.